Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I'm back with another recommendations video based on your zodiac sign, and this one is for Leos. So if you're new to my channel, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you'd like to see more from me, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's jump into these recommendations. I feel like Leo was actually a little bit difficult for me to pick for, which is odd because their traits are something that you see a lot in very like charismatic people that you would think you'd read a lot of books about, but I feel like they might potentially be more in the contemporary books. I don't know. I just struggled. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, let's jump into the recs. Hopefully there are some pretty good ones in here. So the dates for Leo are July 23rd through August 22nd, and Leo is represented by the lion, and it is a fire sign. Some of the traits that are commonly associated with Leos are they are warm, passionate, dynamic, charismatic people. They can be very inclusive. They have strong personalities, very big personalities. They're brave. They have dominant personalities most commonly. They can be vain. They tend to be showmen. They have very captivating personalities. They can be very eloquent, speak very well, very ambitious, confident. They enjoy praise. It goes along with that vanity a little bit, and they like being the center of attention. So some famous authors that are Leos include H.P. Lovecraft, who kind of wrote weird horror, George Bernard Shaw, who was a playwright, Beatrix Potter, who wrote the Peter Rabbit stories, Alexander Dumas, who wrote Count of Monte Cristo, The Three Musketeers, Ray Bradbury wrote Fahrenheit 451, The Martian Chronicles, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Emily Bronte, she wrote Wuthering Heights, Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick, Danielle Steele, she is a romance author, Suzanne Collins, who wrote The Hunger Games, Tomi Adeyemi, who wrote Children of Blood and Bone, Veronica Roth, who wrote the Divergent series, Cassandra Clare, who is the author of the Shadowhunters world, and Victoria Aveyard, who wrote the Red Queen series and just had a new release as well. Realmbreaker, I think is what it's called. So there are a lot of famous Leo authors, or at least I was able to find a lot. I feel like there's probably more in all the different signs. I just was able to find more for this one for some weird reason. But yeah, you're in good company if you're a Leo. So a lot of the recommendations that I'm giving for this aren't necessarily the main characters. A lot of them have to do with other side characters who are also very important to the story. But I just found that those side characters tended to embody those Leo traits more. I don't really know why that is, but yeah, that's just the way it ended up working out. So the first recommendation that I have is The Poppy War, and really you can go with the whole trilogy on this if you want to. This is an adult high fantasy series. It can be very dark, and it has a lot of trigger warnings, so look into that. But this follows a young girl who does not want to get married, and so she works really hard to get into this prestigious military academy. And the character that I think has a lot of Leo traits is Nisa, I believe is how you say his name. He is kind of her rival at this military academy. He is very charismatic. People really like him. He is the personality that just draws people to him. He's very vain. He's very much into showing off and being the best. And he has this very big personality. I think that he really embodies those traits a lot, but I think he has a lot of the negative side to it, especially here in this first book, that he has a lot of that vanity. He really needs to be the center of attention. He can't have anyone besting him. He can be very dominant, but he's also very brave, and he shows a lot of the good qualities of a Leo as well. You just don't see it as much in the beginning. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but he has a huge character arc, and I think that the Leo traits really come out in his personality. Okay, the next book and kind of series that I'm going to recommend is kind of cool because the author is a Leo, and that is Cydia Bones by Cassandra Clare. So this is the first book in her Shadowhunters realm, which is huge. It is so expansive, and this follows these teenagers who are what are called shadow hunters, and they are really essentially hunting down things like demons and werewolves and those types of things, trying to keep the mortal world safe And I really think a lot of the characters in here have a lot of these dominant Leo traits, but I'm kind of going with Jace on this a lot because I feel like he is just so much center of attention. He has to be so over the top. He has this big personality. He's very vain. He really likes the attention, even though he kind of pretends that he's a broody bad boy. He bugs me a lot. I think a lot of the negatives of the Leo traits come out in him by this whole like vanity, center of attention type person. But he's also very confident. He's brave and daring. He's charismatic. He is inclusive. He likes to really make sure that other people feel loved as well. So that's something that I really think is a good trait that comes out in him. And he's also very competitive. He likes to be the best of the best. So those characteristics come out a lot in this, and I feel like it's a lot in those warrior people who like to really compete and win and be the best. So that's a character that I think fits it well. I also think another of the side characters, I can't remember her name, but the girl, the really pretty girl, I think she fits a lot of those traits as well. Not Clary. Clary's just her own business. The next recommendation that I have, I've already recommended, I think it was for Aries, but that is Red Rising, and this is for a completely different character than for the reason I recommended it for the Aries prompt. This one is because of the side character of Cassius. Now, this is an adult sci-fi series. It follows this main character named Darrow, who is a red. He's kind of the lowest of the low on the totem pole, and then he finds out more about the world, definitely expands, and we get a lot of more information. It's really a fun series. I enjoyed it a lot, and the side character of Cassius, I think, really embodies the good side of these Leo traits. Cassius is the type of character who he's very warm, he's outgoing, he's extremely charismatic. People are drawn to him. He's very eloquent. He can speak really well. He has that kind of virtuous mentality to him where he has to follow the rules, but he's also extremely competitive. He wants to be that showman. He wants to succeed. He likes being the best and not being beaten, but also he's very inclusive. He is good about like bringing people in. He's very strong and brave and has a dominant personality, but I think he's able to kind of temper that a little bit in order to be successful. So I don't know. I love Cassius. I love to see him throughout this series. I know he's kind of controversial. He's not really our like good guy. He's not our Darrow, but I love Cassius. I love seeing him throughout this whole series, and I think that he has a lot of those Leo traits. The next one I'm going to recommend is definitely out of my wheelhouse of what I usually talk about on my channel, but that is the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This is by Anne Brashares, and this is a YA contemporary novel. It follows these 4 teenagers who are best friends, and they have been since birth, and they're all going their separate ways during the summer, but right before they leave, they find this pair of pants that happens to fit them all, and so those pants are going to be sent between them throughout the summer to kind of bond them together. And the character that I think really is a total Leo is Bridget. Bridget is a very charismatic person. She just draws people to her. She has a light. She is easy to get along with. She's so fun. She just has that dominant personality as well, where she's just gonna lead her friends on adventures, be the leader, take charge. She's just the type of person that is easy and fun to be around, and she brings out those characteristics in you as well. She's super inclusive with her friends. She's very popular. She's very good at sports. She's extremely competitive. She has to be the best. She's a very good soccer player, and she's just so competitive with herself and with others in that soccer world. And I think that Bridget really is just kind of the epitome of a Leo. I really love her character so much. I really enjoyed these books when I was younger. I haven't read them in forever, but I really liked them, and I liked the movies as well. So yeah, I definitely think Bridget is a character that would click with Leos. The last book that I'm going to recommend, I absolutely love this recommendation, and I love the character that goes along with it, and that is the Aragon series by Christopher Paolini. The character that fits this that I think is great is Seraphina the dragon. I actually think that dragons in general tend to have fairly Leo personalities. I think the way they are written in a lot of books, they're quite vain. They love praise, being told they're beautiful, they're magnificent. They're just the most amazing things ever. They love showing off and having people admire them. They have very big personalities and they're very dominant just like as a species, but in their personalities as well. They tend to be competitive. They don't like being shown up or people thinking that they're not as good or they can't do things. And I think Seraphina is definitely that type of dragon. She's very warm and inclusive and brave, and she has so many great personality traits, but she's also very vain, and she recognizes that about herself. She likes to be the center of attention. She loves to see people admiring her, but she also likes to like use her amazingness to help other people. I love Seraphina. I think she's one of the best characters in this series. She's so much fun. I love dragons in books, and this one especially, I love how the dragons are done in this series. And those are the books that I would recommend for Leos. Let me know down in the comments if you are a Leo, if you think these books match. If you think I'm totally off the mark, definitely let me know in the comments as well, because this one is a little bit difficult for me. But as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!